Hey, what's happening? It's your boy Big K.R.I.T, third co representing Mississippi native. And you know I'm rocking with Ambrosia for heads. You know what it is, nigga. First piece of music I ever bought with my own money, it would have to be Silk the Shocker Charges to the Game, man. That was the first year. I went to FYE in the mall and I copped that. That was crazy. The cases was just such an item to have. Like everybody had, you know, the Lad Don case and P hand moving and stuff. And I don't know, I had the opportunity. My pop like, man, I'm gonna give you some bread. You go cop whatever you want. And I went in and got, you know, Silk the Shocker Charge to the Game. Cause you know, make it say, we're crazy. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna get this. You know, he the youngest of the camp. He doing this thing too. So my first favorite rapper. Wow, that's interesting. I do remember being young and being a really big fan of MC Hammer. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, you know, he was killing it back in the day. You feel me? He had the cartoon and everything like that. So when I was younger, I would have to say that was the only thing that I would say my first rapper. I was like, oh man, this is crazy, you know. But as I really got older and started listening to, you know, hip hop for my own enjoyment and getting things from it, I have to say, Pac really influenced me a lot. You know, as a youngster, like really listening to a lot of Pac, man. Understanding that a lot of his songs came from poetry, you know what I'm saying, really kind of helped me as far as the kind of writer I am now today. Like, it doesn't have to start off with the hook. I can just go from a phrase or a poem I wrote and then just build up a song from there. He was definitely putting a lot of content that was extremely personal to him and his music, via his mom and what he was going through with that, not being around his father and dealing with people in the streets and the whole being raised around the drugs and things of that nature and stuff I could relate to growing up too, and just wanting to rebel against the machine and be your own man. And man, just growing up and looking at the videos and listening to the content and records like Blasphemy and things like that, like these kind of songs had me like, man, yo, you know what I'm saying? Somebody saying something that they go for what I go through out here. One of the first songs I remember learning all the words to. Wow, man, that's a difficult one. I do remember trying to learn all the words to Do or Die, Pope Pimp. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that was just like, man, if you knew everybody verse, especially Twista verse, you was a dude on the playground and stuff. So I remember that was one I always tried to learn. To the Club Up Thugs, Posse Cut. I knew that one by heart. Dang, man. Adrenaline Rush, Twista Psychodrama. Because back then it was like if you could rap it fast to them and you knew what they were saying, Bone Thugs and Harmony, First in the Morning and stuff like that, you know. Yeah. My pops, you know what I'm saying? I remember he had like, I don't know what he had this for, like the old mixes and EQ modules back for the tape cassettes and things back then. And like, it ain't like he really knew what he was doing, but he had those and he was dubbing his own tapes. And I remember he was cleaning out the closet one day and he had old Ghetto Boys tape, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what is this? Cause Bushwick Bill is in this, you know, in this gurney, you know what I'm saying? And they rolling them up out the hospital. I'm like, man, Pops, what is this? And he was like, oh man, that's Ghetto Boys, you know, Scarface. You know? And from that point on, man, just put me onto the music and playing it around me and really kind of explaining to me like, yeah, man, you know, Run DMC and all these people and watching them with the you know, Aerosmith video and, you know, really just kind of, you know, opening my mind to just the hip hop culture period, you know, because I was super young when a lot of this stuff came, or not even born at all technically. So, yeah, man, Last of a Dying Breed, you know what I'm saying? The Fix, you know, Mr. Untouchable, like a lot of these songs. I don't know, man, even now I go back and listen to these songs for inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Just for the, like we like to say, the grit and just the way he was saying these words and pronouncing a lot of, like just the heart that was in this. Obviously it wasn't about having a song on radio. You know, it's like, this is the content, this is what I'm going through. And I just draw a lot of inspiration from them, you know, them kind of artists as well. First time I got to experience hip hop. I mean, that would have to be with the freestyling aspect, man. You know, being on the corner and all the older cats is going in and really not being young and not really understanding what the fuss about. And then you get in there and they just going off the dome over an old instrumental or somebody playing something out their car deck. And then you growing up and you want to be in the mix too. and then they let you say your 4 8 bars and they laugh you off and then they go back to spinning. That was the first time I saw people really get some kind of rep or cred, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody couldn't do that in the hood and everybody wasn't trying to freestyle. So if you had a slick line or a metaphor and it was just straight off the dome, man, you was like, everybody like going crazy in the hood, you know? First time I stepped up, man, I had to be at least 10 or 11. And I'm talking about, I was probably rapping some of the craziest stuff ever because I was a hardcore 3 6 Mafia fan and shit. So, you know, ain't no telling what I was talking about, and I'm 100% sure they laughed me up out of there. But, you know, from that point on, it was one of them things, every time it was out there, I was out there too. And then I took it from that to actually wanting to record music, you know, because I remember Swisher House, you know what I'm saying, you know, 50-50 Twin, Botany Boys, Bellway 8, They Hell Bro Loose, like all these people, Slim Thug was doing tapes and they was just freestyling. That's what I had to do, man. I think the first time that I had the opportunity to open, well, headline my first show in Atlanta was 2010. And I performed Children of the World. And you know, of course, at one point the beat goes off and people were reciting acapella words with me. And that's when I really just like, okay, this is meant for me. This is what I'm supposed to be doing myself. Because even after all the mixtapes I dropped and even dropping KR.I.T was here, still was this like, is this really for me? Based off of just going through so much to get to this point, scared I might be tired by the time anybody ever pay attention. Because I dropped a large body of music before Johnny Shipes ever got the opportunity to really work with me, or Def Jam, and any of these people. So when that happened, I was like, okay, if people want to hear what I got to say, they want to hear honesty, there's room for me now in this game, man. And after that, man, it was like no holds. Like, we got 2000 and beyond. We performed that, being able to do a record like Country Shit, but then have a record like The Vent, be on 106 & Park. It just proved that you can be yourself, and you know, people will definitely take to it, and they can relate to it, and the label will get behind it.